Hello all. So let's get start. We waited enough time. So good evening. So hope till yesterday whatever we discussed everything is clear. So we discussed select clause, basic part only. Many things are there to add in those things actually, like in where clause or in from clause. Joins are there in the from clause, and even in the select clause also many things we are going to add. Okay, but that is the basic thing how to use at a basic level. Okay. So in the same manner, very important discussion today we are going to see. So that is first thing is aggregate functions, followed by group by clause, and then followed by having clause. So basing on the time, we will try to complete these things actually. If it is remain also, we will see tomorrow's class. Okay. Okay. So first of all, let us discuss the aggregate functions. Okay. Because without aggregate functions, it's not possible to use group by clause and having clause. Because basing on this part only, we are going to see that. Okay. So that is why let us try to understand aggregate functions first of all very clearly. And of course, this is simple, nothing is there. So you can see these are functions which take set of values as input and one value as output. So they're very simple. Okay. See, set we know in mathematics we might know that part. That is very simple. So in a set we have a more than one value, right? It's possible, right? So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 I have. So set of values as a input. So this kind of set we are giving as a input, and the output we are getting always one value. That is only one value always. Okay. That is out. Very simple. If you are using aggregate function means you can give input as a more than one value and one value as a output. That's it. Okay. Now these aggregate functions are of course whatever I told already. A group by clause, having clause of the select statement actually. How to use all these things we will see. Okay. Of course that is simple one. Okay. Now the following are the most commonly used one. So let us see sum. So you see, as we told, these are the set of values, right? What are the sum actually? Sum of all these values. So that is simple, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So you just give set of inputs. Then what is the sum of all these values? So that's it, right? So it is a 10. So you see only one value as a output. That's it. Similarly, calculates the sum of values. Whatever you are passing as a input, all the values summation, it is simply finding. So that is always one value, right? Output. Similarly, average. So average meaning is what? Normal case. You are going to calculate the average, right? Sum of all these values by number of values, right? So that is going to become average. That means this is also one value, right? Output. So same thing. Minimum. So in this input, whatever set of values we given, minimum will be there, right? One value. So that is going to get as a one because out of all these four, one is the minimum one. Similarly, maximum that is four. Okay. And count. How many values you provided as a input? That is what going to become the count. So that is what counts the rows in a specified table or view. So that is what total number of values you passed is 4. Okay. So let us see first of all these 4. We have a separate discussion on this. Okay. With the hands-on session. So here if you see, so this is the table we have, right? EMP. So let us execute, observe the data. So this is the data we have. So many insights are there and group by clause, having clause. If you are going for a interview and if there is a written test, definitely there is a question from aggregate functions as well as group by clause and having clause. So please try to understand very clearly. Nothing is there. Okay. So here just observe the salary column. So in this salary, so you have a requirement that total how much money you are spending for the as a employee's salary actually. So that means total salary means what? Sum of all salaries, right? So that is what you can see. Select sum of what you want to sum actually. So other things you just write down EMP. Okay. So other things you just write down. Now here what you have to pass something, right? So here you can see this is a function. So that means a set of values you are passing as a arguments inside that function. Is it? So that is what we are doing. What you want to pass this entire column. Got the point or not? All the salaries you want to pass. So that means you just pass that particular column. So automatically this sum function taking all these values actually. So for that, we will see that this part separately. You can give alias name also. Total salary. Okay, that means, okay, let it be. I will try to show you that separately. Okay, hope you know I commented this part. That means this is not going to execute. So let us remove for better understanding. Now, if I run this one, what is going to happen? Just observe. See, as we told, these are all the set of values. All these values you are passing as a set of values input, and then you are going to get one output. That is what you can see. Total salaries you are spending 29,025 actually. That is of course in dollars or whatever. Don't worry. Now you see, if you observe in the output, there is no column name actually. Is it or not? Okay, what is this number? You don't know, right? What is this number? We don't know. So that is the reason you can give alias names sometimes. So alias names you might know, right? Synonym. So not synonym, something you want to place as a column name. So that is for that you just use as. After that, whatever column name you want to give. So that is I want to give total salary. So now if I run this one, you see the difference here and now. You see, column name became what actually? Total salary. That means whatever you given here, that came as a column name. Got it or not? You can give alias names actually. That is separate part. We will see. Of course, that is simple. Here itself you can see. So for example, I am ename sal from EMP. So if I execute this one, what is going to happen? This is what. But I want what is ename. So I need elaborated name. So that means employee underscore name. And then just sal is there. What is this sal means? I want meaningful name actually, salary. And observe that, okay, as, and here also as. Now if I run, see here, column name, employee underscore name. Now it has some meaning. And sal column name is salary. So that is simple concept. Okay. And as this keyword as not mandatory. Now if I run also, here I didn't given as, here I given as, but still you are going to get the output. You can see column name is ename. So as is not mandatory. Simply after whole thing is completed, you can give alias name. Okay. Or you can mention as. So the main thing is this one. Got it. So similarly, let us take other aggregate function. Other aggregate function is what? Average. Okay. So take same thing. AVG. What you want to pass as a input. So that particular column name you have to pass. So here also sal I am just passing. Okay. Now, what is the alias name I want to give? Average salary. So now if I run this whole query, so you can see, always observe one thing, whatever we discussed in the theory. So here you see set of values as input and one value as output. So you can observe this is also one value, this is also one value. For this aggregate function, all salaries you given as a input That means set of salaries you given, and one output, that is one output. Similarly, this part also. Okay. So now you can add other aggregate functions. So let us add here max of, out of all salaries, maximum salary you want to know. So that is maximum salary. Okay. I will show you some other things also. Y underscore we are giving here, maximum underscore salary. That is another part. Min salary. That means minimum underscore salary. Now, if I run this whole thing, you can see. So tell me what is the mistake? Some syntactical error is there. Try to identify. Yeah, that is simple one only. Yes. Sorry? Yes. Yes. So you can see here after a average salary, we didn't place a comma. See, the moment I place salary, comma, see now before, if I don't place comma, observe that red color underlines. So that means some syntactical error is there. There itself you can observe. The moment I place comma, you see, there is no underline in this whole query. Now if I run, so you can see maximum salary is 5,000, minimum salary is 800. Okay. So that is what you can observe, that aggregate functions. So, and I want to know total number of employees in the company. Okay. So that is what another aggregate function count. Of course, count have some other discussion. We will see that also. Along with these functions, count, let us see. If I give count, see here, star. It has separate discussion actually. But in this case, if I give star, that means total number of employees. That means if you give star, meaning is total number of rows, it will return. That means as a parameter, if you pass star, how many rows are there in that particular table? That means here in the from clause, whatever you provided. So let us take this as a number of employees. Okay, let us give our meaning. For what purpose you placed counter. Now, if I execute, you can see total number of employees are 14. So this is what, first of all, basic thing. Nothing is there in this part. Okay, just we know mathematically some meaning, average, max, min, and count. So in SQL, how we are using these things only, we just see. Okay, so there is no great deal in this part. Hope this is clear first of all, right? Okay. So let us see some insights in this aggregate functions, where you can use, where you should not use, different things are there. Okay. Before that, let us go through the count part. Okay. Okay. Before going to the count part, let us see a few more things. Here we have select star, right? Yeah. So hope you just confirm that. Is it clear till now? Whatever we discussed. Yeah, others. What about others? Parallelly, please do hands-on. That is always good practice. Yep. Okay. Now, if I run this, say here. Now, data is in front of you, whole data, this select star from EMP. What I am doing, you can see, select. If I take max of ename from EMP, don't execute. You just apply your normal, that means your general knowledge. Okay. What may be the output? max of ename. You can tell generally, you don't need to know about the data. When you apply like this, will it work or not? We have to think. Observe that salary is a numeric type. Is it or not? So upon the numeric type, you can find max, min, average, sum, count. Suppose if you are passing ename, for the max same function, you are passing ename. And ename is what actually? Alphabetical. String. It is a string, right? How it will find the ename, maximum of enames actually? That means out of all the names, maximum meaning is what? So it has some meaning in the SQL. Maximum will work on the string data type also. That is what varchar. Okay, or simply character type also it will work. If I run, you can guess what is the output? Alphabetically maximum. That means if you sort these things, who will come last actually? Alphabetically, what is the final one? So now if I run, so you can see what came. That means alphabetically in the ascending order, okay, whoever be the last one, ascending order, that is the maximum actually. So for more better understanding, you can guess if I give min actually, then what it is going to give? Alphabetically the first one. So that's it. You can see Adams. So minimum Adams is the first one alphabetically. Is it out of all e-names, out of all employee names? Is it clear? Now, same thing. Now you have to tell select. Hope that part is clear. Sum of e-name. Now what is the output? Without execution, just try to tell me. So before that, let me put whole data in front of you. Now what is the output? Tell me what is the output? So ename I am passing as a all enames I am passing to some function. That means these 40 names you are passing. So what may be the output? Please try to comment. Hmm? So you see, some will work purely on numeric type because strings it cannot add actually. Mathematically it cannot add. But maximum minimum meanings are going to change in terms of strings alphabetically last one or first one basing on the function min or max. But in case of sum, it cannot add actually. That is why you can run and see operand data type varchar is invalid for some operator. That means whatever you are passing data, that is a varchar type. That means string type. So that is invalid for some operator. That means for this particular function, that is invalid. So similarly, you can observe for average also. Ename if I pass, then if I run, syntactically this is correct. And one more thing, you see, syntactic, semantic, both are different. Syntactic means syntax. So SQL given some format, right? Syntax that you are following. So that is why there is no underline, red color underline. So syntactically this is correct. Semantically, that means meaning wise. There is no meaning, right? Average of strings, how you will find. So that is what you can see now. So that is what sum operator. If you have only average, then whatever be the first one that is showing. Now, if I take only average, you can see. So you can see average operator. That means varchar type is invalid for the average operator. Is it clear? Okay. So that is another thing we must understand in case of the min, max, sum, average. Okay. So hope that is also clear. Right. Now, very, very important thing that is count. Okay. So you can see count star. That is going to return total number of records, including null and duplicate values. Okay. Let us come here. So select count star from EM. Okay. So if I run, what it is going to return, we already seen. Total 14 records are there. Okay. Now, see here. See here. You are observing that here some null values are there. Is it or not? Null meaning is what, first of all? Null meaning is not 0. Okay. Null is not equal to 0 actually. That value is not available. Okay. So that is empty. Just that's it. Okay. So for example, in case of count, if I pass commission column, you can observe that there is a column commission. COMM means commission. So here, if I pass this commission, what may be the output? What may be the output? Let us see. Why it is written 4? Okay. When you have 14 records, let us execute both so that we can easily discuss. Now you see, when you have 14 records here, but for the second query, it given 4. So you observe that here null, here null, here null. So you see, simply for the count function, if you pass specific column name, it is going to eliminate null values actually. Okay. So that is why here 0 is a value, 1400 is value, 500, 300. So only 4 values are there. Only those it considered. So that is why there is a difference between count star and count commission actually. Okay. So if I run, you can see count star. The second query is this one, 14. Third query is with column name where null values are there. Now let us take one more column in the commission. So that is MGR actually. Okay. So you can see MGR column you just observe. One null value is there. Out of 14, what must be the output? You can observe. Or for better understanding, what we will do, let us give alias name MGR here and commission here. So let us see. Now if I run, so you can see MGR part is 13. That means third query or fourth query output is what? 13 because one null value is there. Is it clear? So that is why we must be careful when you are using the count aggregate function. Is it clear? If you just need total number of records, just use the count star. And if you have a specific meaning in the count, so accordingly, we must use the count function actually. Okay. So that is what here we are saying. So count star will return total number of records. You can observe that this one. And column name, if you pass, it will exclude the null values. That is what we discussed. Okay. So now in this case, marks, if I pass, so here you can see marks, one null value is there. So that it is excluding actually. Okay. So that is why 5 is the output actually in that case. Now here, this is distinct, we already seen, right? In this case, sometimes you don't want duplicates also. Got the point? We don't want duplicates also. Now, question is, okay. Try to answer one simple question. I will try to write down the statement here or otherwise. Okay. Okay, I'm writing the statement here. total number of managers. So total how many managers are there? I need actually. Manager means MGR column in the original table. See, this is the column. We want total number of managers actually. How you will tell that count actually? Try to write down the query. Put it in the chat box. Hope question is clear. Total how many managers are there? Observe that null values are there. Duplicates are also there in the manager. So you can see 7698, 7698. Two times it is there. Maybe it is also there in the, yeah, here also there. You can see 7839, 7839. So observe that we just need how many total managers are there. One manager may be, he may be manager to many employees. Okay. So what is the query? So select count star MGR from EMP. That is just returning total number of employees, right? Just observe whatever we discussed already. Is it? Okay. You can try in your tool, that means SSMS. You have a hint here. That is why I am saying. Okay. In this slide, you have a hint. Please try. Okay. Yeah. Now let us see. We need total number of managers actually. So you can go like this, right? Select from EMP. Let it be. Let us come to select class. Now, suppose if I give distinct MGR, is it or not? What you are getting here? If I give like this, what is the output? Tell me. Select distinct MGR. If I give, what is the output? Try to comment. You are getting all the MGRs actually, including null. But I ask total number, count I need actually. Got the point or not? I'm asking just count, total count. So in that case, what we can do? For example, let us take aggregate function count. If I pass this one, so let us take select the star from EMP also for better understanding. Okay. Now if I run both the queries, you can compare, right? Easily you can evaluate. So here you can see 13 you got. Do you have really 13 managers? No, right? They 7698 is one manager, one employee only. So who is 7698? So he here. Blake is the one manager, but he is a manager to many employees. So there is no 13 managers. Okay. So now only count, just it is eliminated null values. And distinct if you take, it is taking null and also, but it is returning total employees actually, but we need count actually. So that is why first you find the distinct values. Okay. So here you can see this part, what it is going to do. Let me take here. So let us remove count actually. So if I run this one, what is going to happen? Observe. So this one. These 7 values you are passing as a input to count actually. That is what, right? Distinct MGR is doing. Now count will take these all the values. It will exclude null, right? Then remaining it will count because anyhow these are the distinct values. There is no repetition, duplicate. Okay. So now if I run, so you can see you got 6. Let us run all together. Try to find out the difference. So you can see 6. So null is excluded. So remaining employees came. 6 managers are there. So you can see this is the original table. Got it? So this is the actual query. How simple it is, you see. Is it clear? Yeah. So any confusion in this count part? Count is really very good one. You are going to have many applications in real time. So try to understand all these 3 things. That is why separately this one is given. So that is what you can see. Total number of distinct not null values. Try to observe this statement. Distinct and also not null. That means null values it is excluding. Duplicate values it is excluding. So here 60 is repeated. Okay. So that is why you can see outputs are different. Okay. So any confusion in this? So if this is clear, we are going to very important one, very interesting one. So that is this one. So first of all, please confirm everyone. Is it clear? Or any confusion or any doubt or any question you can ask. Okay, fine. Now let us go next, group by class. Really very important. Okay. Let us see. See, group by as name implies, you see here group. You are grouping actually. For example, in a classroom, if 60 students are there, sometimes you need to group basing on some common thing actually. Suppose sometimes you will group like all boys one side, all girls one side. So some common thing is what? Whoever is boys, they will be in a one group. Whoever is girls, they will be in another group. That is one criteria, right? And suppose another criteria basing on their grades. So grade A, grade B, grade C, grade D, like that. So all grade A students one side, grade B students another side. So there is a common thing, right? Something is there to divide them actually. And each division is one group. So same thing here also. So this is very common thing and very regular usage real-time scenario. Okay, group by class. And in the interviews, definitely they will touch this part to prove your analytical knowledge, your processing, how analytically you are good, group by joins and subqueries, correlated subqueries. These are all the topics they will touch actually. Okay. Now let us try to understand this part clearly, group by class. So simple group by class is used in combination with select statement to arrange same data into group. Same data, that is what common thing. Okay. For example, here, let us take this table. This is EMP table only required columns I took here. That is EMP number, ename, job, sal, and DEPT number. Now here, if you observe, let us take for simple understanding, department number. So department number, if you observe, yellow colored rows, 3 yellow color rows are there. Is it or not? What is the common thing? 10th department employees. Is it or not? So you see 10, 10, 10. Then next one. Red color. Red color is what you can observe. 20, 20, 20, 20. So hope you got the point here. So we divided all the employees basing on their department number. So same department. So here you see arrange same data into groups. So same department number employees, you are dividing actually. So that's it, right? So in this manner, we are going to use group by class. So this part we've seen till now. Now group by clause, if you observe, group by, this is the keyword you must use, then followed by column names. That may be one column, at least one column must be there, and you can have any number of columns here. Now, whatever column name you mentioned, okay, you can mention any column name. Basing on the column name you mention, it is going to group of the same data actually under that particular column. Now, so you grouped. After grouping, what you want to do with those groups actually, that is where our aggregate functions are going to play a key role. That is what you can see here. So I divided. So you see here, you can see three colors are there. That means each color is one department. Is it or not? So you divided. What you want to do with those groups actually, something you want to find, right? So that is what aggregate functions we will use. So I want to know, for example, department wise number of employees. 10th department, how many employees are there? 20th department, how many employees are there? 30th department, how many employees are there? Or department wise average salary, or department wise maximum salary or minimum salary. So this kind of requirements will be there with group by clause always. Got it or not? So now let us come to hands-on part. Very, very important. You see here. So select, we will come back to select clause again from EMP group by. Let us go department number wise. So the moment you placed one column name after group by clause means basing on that column, you are going to group actually. Under that particular column, whoever have same value, all of them going into one group. Okay. Now come to the select clause. So in the select clause, now you are going to put your meaning, actual meaning. That means I want to find in each department how many employees are there. So that is what you see, count star. Okay. Now, if I run this one, what is going to happen? 3, 5, 6. Is it or not? So 3 is what? 10th department employees. You can see 3 rows are there in the yellow color. Now 5 is what? You can see 5 is red color. And 6 is green color. That means 30th department. So that is what, after dividing the groups, what you want to do with those groups actually. So this is the requirement. But you have a confusion here. 3 is which department, 5 is which department, 6 is which department. So you can add that particular column name here. You can display that, right? So that it is more meaningful. Now you can see. So 3 means you will understand that in the 10th department, 3 employees are there. In 20th department, 5 employees are there. Now it is more meaningful, right? So that is the one thing. Is it clear? Or, so this is what count. Suppose CNT, let us take alias name. Now, let us take this here so that, yeah. Now, I want to find in the 10th department, how much salaries you are spending. Okay. That is what, simply sum of sal, that's it. Now it is not calculating for the whole table. Try to observe that. This summation here, this summation is not for the whole 14 rows. Because here you divided into groups, right? Is it? You divided into groups. Group wise summation. Hope it is more clear for you. Okay. So that is sum of cell something. Now if I run, you can see. So you can see 10th department, 3 employees are there. For those 3, you are spending this much of salaries. Is it? So like that, hope you can add other aggregate functions here. That is average of sal and maximum salary department wise. You want to know. So that and the minimum salary. So now if we run all together, you can see the output. Many other insights are there. This is just basic only. Okay. So you can see column names we didn't given. So that is why it didn't come. Alias you must give. Okay. Now you see 10th department. Let us give here average. Okay. And let us give here maximum. Then here minimum. Okay. Now it is more meaningful, right? So now you see average 10th department. Average salary is what? 2916. And maximum in the 10th department is 5,000. Minimum is 1300. So such a way, after grouping basing on some common value, for each group, what you want to find by using aggregate functions, you can find actually. You are using group by means, aggregate functions, you are going to use. That's it. Okay. So that is why these two combination is mandatory actually. So group by statement often used with aggregate functions. Is it clear? So this is first basic part and many other insights are there. Hope first of all, this is giving a clear visibility for you. That means you are able to visualize grouping meaning is what, upon those groups, what kind of things, what kind of operations you can perform, what kind of result you can find. And it is still strict to one point, what you told actually, input is what? Set of values. Okay. And output is what? One value. Yes, it is correct actually. Here also one output. But for how many groups are created? For each group, one output. Got the point or not? So that is always same. Okay. So first of all, please confirm. Is it clear or not? Everyone must confirm because this is very basic. On top of this, many other things we are going to discuss. Okay. You don't realize that how much complexity that one as we are moving. Okay. But those things are going to very simple if basic part is clear. Okay. Please confirm everyone. Okay. Now it's not over actually. Group by class is not over. This is legal work. What general mistakes we will do? That means errors. Okay. Those things we must handle actually. There your actual skill is there. Okay. Of course, that is simple. It's not a big thing. Now, uh, let us come. Let us. Okay. Here I will try to write down one more query. So here you can see I'm writing here select. For example, I want to find sum of salary and I return EMP. Okay. So this is simple one, right? What this query is doing? Just comment quickly. What this query is doing? It has some explanation, theoretical explanation, whatever I'm going to do, but what it will do? You don't execute in your tool, but try to observe the query. What may be the output? Tell me. I highlighted, right? Yeah, we are summing all salaries, correct? Now I return some query, right? So observe that query. I highlighted with blue color. Okay. Observe this query. Okay. What may be the output? Put in a chat box. This is really very, very important. Very interesting one. Don't execute. Basing on your understanding only, try to answer it. Okay, right. I will execute. See here, listen. First you see here output. Yep, you see what it is saying. emp.ename is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either aggregate function or the group by class. It actually, forget about this one. We'll come back to this answer. Let us come here. Let us take some, just a minute. Yeah, let us come here. So what we written here is select, we written sum of cells, comma, ename we written. Is it or not? Then from emp. Okay. Now you see, as we discussed, sum of cell, all salaries you given as a input set, actually it is a set. Then this whole thing written one value only, right? Some value, some, for example, I guess 29025. One value it is written, this particular part. What about this part ename? Ename means we have a 14 rows are there. Is it or not? So you observe that this is returning multiple values. This is returning only one value. How it will display in the output actually? So meaning wise also, it is not a good thing. There is no meaning for this. Okay. So that is why when one value returning function and multiple values returning columns, if there, it is mismatch actually in the output. So that is the reason you can see here. And of course, you can see first of all error. Select list because it is not contained in the either aggregate function. So it is not there in the aggregate function or group by class. Why they used group by class is there is no group by class here. Okay, that means in the query there is no group by class. You can, when you can use the normal column, when we are using aggregate function, when we can use normal column in the select clause is that column must present in the group by class, because just now only we seen here, you can observe that this part, this query. So you see DEPT number is there in the group by class. So DEPT number now you can use in the select class. That is what that ename column is not exist in the group by also he is mentioned. That means because you grouped basing on the DEPT number. So that each group you can display in the output actually. So hope here the main intention of this discussion is clear. Why ename is invalid? Because either ename not exist in the group by class or ename not present in the aggregate function. Because aggregate function will return one value and a normal column will return more than one value. Okay. So even normal, this column returning one value also, that is not a valid one, meaningfully not correct actually. That is why if any column exist in the group by class, that column only can exist in the select class. If any column not exist in the group by class, those columns you should not use in the select class. This is regularly finding the error. Find the error in the given query. A regularly used one and very simple one, but frequently they will give in the written test or sometimes they will test in the interview also. Nothing is there, but please try to understand meaningfully in this manner. Okay, we already at 8 o'clock. Okay, so first of all, is there any doubts in this part? We will explore more on this. and many interesting homework questions are waiting for you. So you need to work on that. Okay. So hope first of all, whatever we discussed today, is it clear? This is really very important. Whole SQL is here only in this. The main things you must understand clearly subqueries and this aggregate functions group by having, and joins you must understand clearly. Then very frequently used SQL part in real time is completed. And other things, of course, we will discuss. Other things just for knowledge only, because you don't need to remember actually. Suppose if any requirement is there for the, for example, row number. For every row, you want to give row number. Though we will discuss here, you don't need to remember that much actually. Just Google it, how to use the row number in my MS SQL, refer it, good document, then accordingly you write the query actually. So in real time, we don't need to remember anything. Okay, just have a knowledge. That's it. Okay, remembering is different. Just having an idea is different. So idea means you don't need to remember. We know that, okay, some option is there. Google it, automatically you will get it. So for example, I will share just last week work. For example, at some point I have to use hashing. I don't know. That means hashing I know, but in SQL, how you will apply the hashing? Just Google it. So in the Google, read the 2-3 documents. Within 5 minutes, you will conclude actually. So is it meeting your requirement? Then just test in your tool, and then you will get the some output, right? Then you apply for the whole data. That's it. Okay. So that is what core SQL you must remember, and logically you must understand. That is why mostly this week we are discussing core SQL only. Okay. So hope this whatever we discussed today, that is like aggregate functions and group by. Group by is not yet completed. Many other things we have to discuss. So that we will see tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So okay then. If you don't have any doubts, then we will meet tomorrow.